compromise, that once again value honesty and integrity. A party that uses policy, empathy, and tone to work across that aisle, to gain majorities, to talk about issues. Use it as our North Star. The last 4 years have been difficult for our family, the journey, but a journey that's been worth traveling. There have been so many folks over the last 4 years, nearly 4 years, Republicans specifically, that have come up and offered words of encouragement, that have quietly sent notes, have praised the notion of saying and doing the right thing. It's my time to ask a favor of all those thousands and thousands of Republicans across the country who've given us words of encouragement. I have an ask. My ask is this: it is your time to do the right thing. Don't give Donald Trump 4 more years to continue to destroy this country. The governor. And many people in this state said I was too conservative to actually be a statewide elected official. But by the grace of God, we won that election, and we worked for 4 tough years. We worked across the aisle, worked with Leader Butler and others to bring meaningful legislation forward. We passed over 50 bipartisan health care bills. We took on COVID reform, and we passed a very important hate crimes piece of legislation. There's also some tough memories in this building I've got. We were second guessed on COVID almost every minute of every day from the White House, specifically Donald Trump. Lies, conspiracy theories around the 2020 election, so much so that I had to have armed guards around my office and my home, around my family, just to fight off the fact I didn't admit that the election was rigged, because it wasn't. Fake electors sat just a few feet from us, sat in a room and tried to usurp democracy. And then the unfortunate events of January 6th showed up, and sitting in this building watching those events play out.
Yeah, so we're just trying to come up with this information about Biden's, Kamala Harris, new pick as a VP, and we're bringing this information because it's very vital for the campaign. We just saw Biden choose Kamala Harris as the new Democratic front runner. It didn't come as a surprise, right? It didn't come as a surprise. We saw Kamala Harris has been very experienced when it comes to her past experience with the California as Attorney General in California. Her experience is she has a robust political background, having served as the U.S. Senator and previously also served as the Attorney General of California. Her experience in these positions has equipped her with a deep understanding of both legislative processes and law enforcement issues. Okay. Also, historical significance also played a role for Biden to recommend her as the replacement, okay, as the first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to become the vice president. Harris represents a significant milestone in the U.S. history and reflecting that diversity, right, of the American electorate. Even the Trump campaign and the GOP are calling her the DEI hire, that he was chosen because of this diversity. But her competence, her experience, even her policy. Okay, she has been an advocate for a wide range of progressive policies. Okay, including even the criminal justice reforms, healthcare access, even on climate change. She has been very strong on climate change and even women's rights. Okay, so all this, so it's not only because she's a diversity candidate, or she brings so many other aspects that prompt Biden to choose her as the current presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. And her connection to key issues also prompt Biden to choose her. Okay, and Harris has a personal connection with these issues that resonate with so many Americans, such as immigration issues, even the civil rights and education issues. Okay, her background allows her to approach these topics with both empathy and authority. You understand, even President Trump is even afraid to come and do a debate with Harris because of all this experience that she brings. Okay, she has the electoral appeal. Okay, since Biden, this is about 7 days that Biden hand over the baton of power to Harris. Harris' candidacy has energized the younger voters. You can see that. You can see how many new registered voters, thousands of new registered voters have enrolled in this process just to vote. Okay, while even she's also appealing to those even the underrepresented communities, while also appealing to the moderate Democrats who were not even ready to even take part in these elections. Imagine even the independents, okay, who may be seeking to maybe vote the Republican candidate, but now they are all in. They are all in. But today I want to talk about this pick, this Democratic vice president that has been picked by Harris, and Governor Walz. Governor Walz brings in so many appealing electoral appeal. He brings a lot of experience. Governor Walz brings this experience as a governor and as a former Congress U.S. person. Okay, Tim Walz has a very, very significant experience, and all this experience are what prompted the Harris campaign to choose Tim Walz as the vice president. And we are seeing this because owing to that experience, as his experience in governance, his experience in leadership, all this prompted the Kamala Harris campaign to choose Walz. Okay, being a U.S. congressman and also the governor of Minnesota, Walz bring in this solid background in both state and national politics. Okay, and picking him is a very significant challenge for the Trump campaign. Okay, because Walz has this experience as the governor of Minnesota, which provide him with significant executive leadership skills, right, and a track record in managing state level issues, even the economic issues that he has been handling in Minnesota. Okay, his governance has involved economic planning and response strategies that could complement Harris' economic policy too, and that is a very good thing. Okay, being a governor of Minnesota, Walz has extensive executive experience in managing a state, uh, a state of that magnitude, right? Even navigating the legislative processes and implementing policies. He has an enormous experience in that domain. So it's not a bad choice. Okay, this experience is crucial for understanding these complexities in governance and also administration. So I think compared to what Trump has choose Vance on the other side of it's just a huge difference. Not only Kamala Harris brings her experience, Governor Walz brings his experience, and the ticket is just enormous. Okay, there's a lot of experience in both sides. Imagine Kamala Harris comes with all her experience, from crisis management to her debate skills. Okay, she can debate. Being attorney general, she ran for office. She ran as a senator. She ran as a president. She ran as a vice. She came in and with Biden. All this experience, she has enormous experience. Then imagine adding Governor Walz now to the ticket. I mean, Trump and Vance will be crushed. I mean, this is a wonderful combination that we are seeing there. And imagine as a moderate, Walz can bridge that gap between the progressive and the centrist factions within the Democratic Party. This is what they have been looking for. Okay, his policies often reflect pragmatic solutions that can attract even the independents and the moderate Republicans. Remember, there are long list of Republicans that are endorsing Kamala Harris now. Okay, long list. Imagine these GOP Congress members who have already endorsed Kamala Harris. This is very rare in the history of presidential election for GOP Congress members, okay, who are supposed to endorse their own candidate. They are instead cross-endorsing Kamala Harris. You have members of Congress like Rod Chandler of Washington, okay, Tom Coleman of Missouri, Dave Emery of Maine, even Wayne Ginshret of Maryland, Jim Greenwood of Pennsylvania, John LeButile of New York, Susan Molinari of New York. All these are GOP Congress members. You can imagine they are instead endorsing Kamala Harris. Okay, imagine someone like Jack Quinn of New York, Denver Riggleman of Virginia, Claudine Schneider of Rhode Island, Christopher Shays of Connecticut, Peter Smith of Vermont, Alan Stillman of Texas, David Trott of Michigan, Joy Walsh of Illinois. All these are GOP Congress members. Imagine. This has never been seen in the history of presidential election in the United States, that a Congress member from GOP, they are endorsing the Democratic candidate. So this is unprecedented. We have not seen this before. So it's just strange and unheard of, right? But this tells you about the experience that Kamala Harris and Walz bring in this ticket. And we are seeing this as a very powerful tool for both candidates. And I hope that the Democratic Party can, okay, listen to Kamala Harris talk to Walz on this nomination.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President.
The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone. So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you. Okay.
Wow,
Bye.
that's you see, that's the when Kamala Harris called Governor Walz, and it was just a special connection there. You see, I was just talking about Walz's experience, bringing this bipartisan appeal, and talk about his leadership skills that he brings to the Democratic ticket. As the chairman of the National Governors Association, Governor Walz has demonstrated leadership and earned the respect of his peers. Okay, this experience highlights his capability to work collaboratively and lead effectively. Walz has demonstrated effective leadership, especially during the challenges time, such as even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, as a governor, he had to face this challenge, okay, of this period, okay, and his leadership during this period. Even remember during the George Floyd protests, and where he also calls for subsequent reform and police reform and the commitment to justice. So he has a track record of dealing with COVID, dealing with these different issues that plagued Minnesota back then. So we see this in his role handling Minnesota's COVID, handling different crisis management in that state. Okay. Then even on his focus on education, okay, remember he's a former educator. Walz has a strong commitment to improving education, okay, which resonate with many voters, especially Democratic voters too. And this commitment to education, the background as a teacher, he has a background as a teacher, and background as a state person, state representative, now the governor. Walz's expertise as a teacher and this education side has also aligned with Harris' priorities on improving educational opportunities and addressing these systematic inequalities in educational system in America. So we are looking at these two candidates who really fit. Okay, they really fit in the appeal of running together as running mates. Okay, Walz also bring in this aspect of appealing to the Midwestern voters. Okay, the rural community appeal. Okay, and this is one of Walz's key strengths in his ability to connect with rural communities, and this a demographic that is often challenging for Democrats to engage. Okay, this appeal will help the Democratic Party to outreach this demographic and bring that base. Okay, and these are the red collar states. Okay, so imagine Walz, who successfully won Minnesota, a state with a mix of urban and rural voters. So he has no problem in helping the Democratic Party, especially his ability to appeal to this broad spectrum of constituents. Is a very crucial issue with the national election. And as a governor of Minnesota, he can attract all these voters. And I think the Democratic Party has a very, very good chances of winning all these rural and urban voters, dealing with this, his understanding with this demographic. Okay. Then even talking about also his appeal to as a military personnel, right? Imagine you being he was in the military, Walz served in the Coast Guard. Okay, so he brings all this experience. Imagine appealing to the veterans, okay, the military people. He can appeal to the teachers. He can appeal to the these rural and urban demographic in the Midwest. Okay, he brings all this appeal. So this role has equipped him with a very deep understanding of service, discipline, and education, and resonating well with these voters with these areas. Okay, Walz is a veteran, and his military experience may enhance the ticket on national security credibility, even coming in as this U.S. Army and U.S. National Guard. He adds this layer of credibility and respect for national security and military issues. I know he's going to be a very good appeal to the veterans, okay, appeal to the police, the law enforcement, appeal to the national security credibility. This is a good chance and a good pick for that Harris did, and it's good for Democratic Party, okay, and he has this progressive policy, okay, with his moderate stand also, that he can bridge the gap between the progressive and the centrist faction within the Democratic Party. This is a good pick. I see this policy often reflect a pragmatic solution that can attract these independent and the moderate Republicans. You just saw, I just read some long list of GOP representative in the members in the House of Representatives who are now for Kamala Harris. Okay, then Walz coming now to the ticket. His progressive stance on these various issues align with the Democratic Party platform and the GOP platform also. Okay, and this is a good one for the Democratic Party, and I think if they go with this ticket, it's very, very good. Okay, Walz has a long stance, a commitment to racial and social justice. Okay, remember the George Floyd incident and his commitment in addressing this systematic racism issue during that time was outstanding. Okay, Walz's leadership during that time of George Floyd protests and his effort towards police reform, addressing this systematic racism, showed his commitment to social justice, because that protest was nationwide. Okay, it was not only in the state, okay, of Minnesota, it was all over. So this is a good thing, and added advantage on the ticket. Okay, he's a good speaker. He has a very broad skill of communication. That is a very good appeal that the GOP don't have. Trump is not a good communicator. He, imagine Walz is a former teacher and has been effective at conveying complex ideas simply and clearly. Okay, he's an asset for any political campaign. His competence in dealing with diverse communities and engaging these various diverse communities, and his effort tackling these local issues will be a very valuable asset in shaping the policies that address the needs of this broad spectrum of American citizens. Okay, so Tim Ward, I'm telling you, as a governor, Tim Ward brings a very, very big, compelling choice for as a vice presidential pick. Okay, especially given the need for a moderate who can appeal to all these other voters from the Midwest. Okay, and I think this is not a bad pick for the Democratic Party, and I think we can see a very powerful niche here. Okay, when I'll play this and you listen to this GOP voter and rep talking about why they will not vote for Trump.
A huge part of why I'm standing here today, the governor. And many people in this state said I was too conservative to actually be a statewide elected official. But by the grace of God, we won that election, and we worked for 4 tough years. We worked across the aisle, worked with Leader Butler and others to bring meaningful legislation forward. We passed over 50 bipartisan health care bills. We took on COVID reform, and we passed a very important hate crimes piece of legislation. There's also some tough memories in this building I've got. We were second guessed on COVID almost every minute of every day from the White House, specifically Donald Trump. Lies, conspiracy theories around the 2020 election, so much so that I had to have armed guards around my office and my home, around my family, just to fight off the fact I didn't admit that the election was rigged, because it wasn't. Fake electors sat just a few feet from us, sat in a room and tried to usurp democracy. And then the unfortunate events of January 6th showed up, and sitting in this building watching those events play out were a huge part of why I'm standing here today. All of those tough memories seem to track back to one person, and one person only, and that's Donald Trump. Going against the grain as a Republican and supporting Democrat Joe Biden for president is not easy. But I'm not looking at this election through the lens of being a Republican. I'm looking through the lens of being an American that cares more about the future of my country than the moral bankrupt nominee of my party. There are political ramifications to this decision, but they pale in comparison to 4 more years of Donald Trump, both home and abroad. Let me speak directly to the millions of Republicans across the country who are tired of making excuses for Donald Trump's behavior at their churches, in their offices, and at their own kitchen tables. Enough is enough. The nightmare has to end, and it has to end now. It's time for us to purge Donald Trump from our system. Let's take the next 4 years as Republicans and build and heal a new party, a GOP 2.0, a party that finds leaders that are willing to embrace conservative principles and work across the aisle, leaders that understand the value of civility and compromise, that once again value honesty and integrity, a party that uses policy, empathy, and tone to work across that aisle, to gain majorities, to talk about issues, use it as our North Star. The last 4 years have been difficult for our family, the journey, but a journey that's been worth traveling. There have been so many folks over the last 4 years, nearly 4 years, Republicans specifically, that have come up and offered words of encouragement, that have quietly sent notes, have praised the notion of saying and doing the right thing. It's my time to ask a favor of all those thousands and thousands of Republicans across the country who've given us words of encouragement. I have an ask. My ask is this: it is your time to do the right thing. Don't give Donald Trump 4 more years to continue to destroy this country.
So that's the GOP. One of the members of the Republican is called Geoff Duncan. Okay, it's one of those GOP members who have put the party over. They put the country over the party, and it is very important that we know that they are voting for a GOP candidate. And we have seen this happen in so many areas. And Kamala has made a very good choice. This is people who are rallying in Philadelphia, you know. Check
Okay,
this out.
so we are here in Philadelphia for the Kamala Harris rally. Sorry. It's okay. And the line, this is just part of the line. This is like 1/10 of it. 1/10 of it. And it keeps going. I have to go to the end. And I'm not seeing the end in sight. So this is amazing what is happening right now in Philadelphia. The doors are supposed to close in 16 minutes and nobody is leaving their spot. I don't know how they are going to cover all this distance in 16 minutes. So it doesn't look like some of us are going to get in there. Unbelievable. And the line keeps going and it keeps going, and then there are still some people behind me. Oh my gracious God. Okay, oh, this is definitely something. Let's see. Okay, I need to get to the end of the line, and there is no end in sight.
Yeah, so you can see those are people rallying just to go and listen to Kamala Harris announce the VP pick there. So it's know that the choice of Tim Walz is not a bad one. I just elaborated all the experience he brings. Coming to the White House with all the experience is a very good thing. Okay, he comes in with 60 years. He's a 60-year-old person. Okay, currently serving second term as the Minnesota governor. He's the chairman of the Democratic Governors Association. Okay, he's the chairman. He governs all. He's now the chairman of all the governors. Okay, so he has those experiences that he's coming with. He served the Congress for 12 years. Okay, he served Congress for 12 years, and he's also a veteran and a teacher, former educator. So all these are experiences that the GOP Vance, the vice president that has been chosen to run with Trump, has no experience of. There's no match of this. Okay, then imagine Kamala Harris is telling Trump, bring your experience and let's go for debate. Trump cannot even go for a debate. So you see, if you want to run for office, we know presidents historically, we have not seen where a presidential candidate is afraid to go for a debate. Where have you seen that before? But this time around, we see that happening with Trump. He's refusing to go and debate Kamala Harris. Why? Because he doesn't have the guts to go and stand in front of Kamala and talk, right? And we have seen that now we are talking about a prosecutor, someone who has been attorney general, someone who has been a senator, and now is a current vice president, going toe to toe, neck to neck with someone who has been charged with 33 felonies. Okay, he's a current felon with 33, and who is in his right sense will go and be voting somebody with all this baggage that the person brings. Okay, when somebody with one felony is not even allowed to vote, so he cannot even vote his own self, but he's allowed to run as a Democratic ticket. I don't understand the kind of precedent that they are setting. If you know that a felon cannot vote, one felon cannot vote, then you are voting someone who has been charged of numerous felonies to be a running mate, and you are asking, and he himself cannot vote because he is currently a recognized felon with numerous charges, and you want him to go and be running for you as your flag bearer. If you ask one Republican, do you want your children to copy what this man has been doing? They will say no. Then why are you supporting him? Why do you want? Because your children are seeing you going to vote this man, and you want your children to copy this man. But no, you don't want your children to copy him, but you are his follower. So then your children will definitely be doing what he has been doing. There's no way you can say you vote for somebody that your children will not follow his footsteps. Okay, what he has done to women, what he has done to students, what he has done to models, sexual harassment, all these things are things that cannot go away anytime soon. He has been charged with all these crimes, and you are going to vote for this person as your flag bearer. What has GOP become? And now he has the audacity to say Kamala Harris has no experience. What experience do you want for somebody to be the president of the United States? Somebody who has been Attorney General of the largest state in America, Attorney General of California. He has been a prosecutor. She has been the senator of California. She's now the current vice president. So what other experience do you want from somebody? Is it because of her color, or is it because of her race, or because of what? So there's nothing that you can say that she was a DEI hire, okay, because of her race, that's why she was hired, or she was taken by Biden to be the vice president. No, she came with that experience from day one. She was the senator before she was appointed. So it has nothing to do with the DEI hire. Okay, she came with that experience, and that is what we like of Kamala Harris and this current VP pick. We hope that we're gonna hear much from the other campaigns and see how we can go with that trail. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Don't forget to share and share and share. Subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you.